I hired an actor to pose as my boyfriend at my little sister's wedding, the sister I practically raised, because my ex-husband was coming and bringing the woman he left me for. But what my fake date did during the toast made the entire room go silent. The moment I realized something in me had broken was when a man I'd known for 6 minutes told me I looked beautiful and I answered, "It's my sister's dress." He didn't say it back. He just went quiet in the passenger seat and looked at me the way you look at a bird that's flown into a window and is somehow still breathing. Taylor's name was Elias. I'd found him 3 days earlier on a site called Actor for Alex and paid him dollar amount for 5 hours. I needed one person in that room who looked like he'd chosen me on purpose, and I needed Wade to watch us walk in together. I told myself it wasn't about revenge. I was lying. Let me back up. Our mother died when I was 21 and my sister Bree was 8, so I raised her. The packed lunches, the prom dress, the college essays. Avery, she asked me to walk her down the aisle because there was no one else. It was the closest thing to being told I mattered that I'd felt in a decade. I was married to Wade for a time, and every time I was proud of something he found a way to make it small. "Avery, I got promoted, my first real raise," he said. "Let's not throw a parade, Colleen." Whenever I got excited he'd smile and say, "Casey needs the Colleen show." Quinn, enough years I learned to say it first, to hand every good thing away before he could. Blake, one Sunday he stood in the kitchen with his keys already in his hand and said, "I need more than somebody who's grateful for a small life." Blake, he said, Simone, 29, from his gym. Wade was going to be at the wedding no matter what. The groom idolized him. So I hired Elias. He knocked on my door in a charcoal suit, and the first thing out of my mouth was that I should have done more with my hair. He stopped. "You did that just now," he said. "Somebody says a good thing, you hand it back before it can land." All night I gave myself away. Bree hugged me and said the flowers were perfect. I'd arranged them myself at 6 o'clock that morning and I said, "Oh, that was mostly the florist." Emery said Bree had turned out so lovely and I said, "She raised herself, really?" Each time Elias leaned down and quietly handed it back. "You did the flowers, Colleen. You raised her. That was you." Blake Wade came over, looked Elias up and down and said loud enough for 3 tables, "Wow, Call. You rented a whole personality for tonight? You never did splurge on yourself." My hand slipped out of Elias's. He took it back home and looked at Wade. "She doesn't splurge on herself. I've been here 20 minutes and I already know exactly who taught her that." "Avery, it was time to walk Bree down the aisle." I tried to hand it to an uncle. "People will think it's odd." And she took my face in both hands and said, "Colleen, stop giving yourself away. Just once." And I walked her, and it was the proudest moment of my life. Blake came my toast. I stood up shaking and said, "I'll keep this short. I'm nobody special." And from 3 tables back, a few drinks in, Wade said it. "Jordan, it's short, Call. Casey needs the Colleen show." The exact words from of my kitchen, out loud in front of everyone we love. The room went silent and Elias stood up. He didn't raise his voice. "For a time you taught this woman that every good thing about her belonged to somebody else. She arranged those flowers and gave the credit to a florist. She raised that bride and gave the credit to an 8-year-old. She walked her sister down the aisle and tried to hand the honor to a man named Dakota. So I only have one question for you, Wade. What did you get out of making sure she never once got to stand in a room and be proud of herself?" Casey laughed. Wade opened his mouth and nothing came out.